Hey, welcome back to my channel about public speaking. I hope you didn't just get the jitters when I said that. I am Ramona J. Smith, world champion public speaker. And first and foremost, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below, and share this video with anyone who's interested in public speaking, learning more about public speaking, and learning more about my journey as someone who actually loves to be speaking in public. Today, I want to talk about my experience after winning the World Championship of Public Speaking. I want to share this with you all because so many people ask me how my life changed after becoming the World Champion of Public Speaking in 2018. If that's something that's interesting to you, stick around. Let's dive right into it. If you watched my previous video, I explained the process and the levels of getting to the actual world stage. So I'm not going to go into that. Go ahead and click that video and take a look at that to get more understanding about how you even get to the world championship stage. But once I got there and I heard them say first place, Ramona J. Smith, first of all, I was in shock. Let's start there. I was shocked because in 2018, I wasn't expecting to win. Of course, I wanted to win, otherwise I wouldn't be competing, but I didn't expect to win. I was in Chicago with the world's greatest speakers in our organization. So the top tier, the upper echelon, the best out of over 30,000 people. So everybody was great. Everybody was awesome. Everybody had put in the same amount of work as me. Everybody had as much as experience as I had. So the competition was fierce. It wasn't like some easy feat where I just got on stage and I just dominated. No, everybody who was speaking on that stage, all 9 or 10 of us were phenomenal speakers. And the fact that I am a fan of both public speaking and Toastmasters, to be able to witness people giving speeches that they put so much work into it and creativity, I was just happy to be there. I was in the moment. I was very, very present in the audience. I was so present in the audience while the other speakers were giving their presentations that I forgot that I was competing for a minute because I was so just enthralled and just enraptured by the greatness of these speakers. It is definitely an art, and when you see art in motion, if you're a fan of it, it's just like you're just starstruck in a way. I was definitely starstruck. So that's how present I was really just enjoying the moment and taking it all in and being in Chicago. And I was visiting my cousin Devan, and he set everything up for me and made it very comfortable. So it was just a beautiful overall experience. So when they did call my name, like I said, I was in shock. If you go to my Instagram page at Ramona J. Smith 1, I actually have the footage of that moment when they called my name. I mean, I stood up, I was jumping around, I went to go hug the van, and it was an amazing moment. So first and foremost, shock, disbelief, like, oh my God, I did it. And not just me, but everybody who helped me along the way, the Heidi Capertons, the Cheryl Warrens, the Kathy Kess, the Rose Braffords, the Ellie Hars, the Larry Sapanskys. Did I say Heidi already? But yes, everybody who helped me along the way on that journey, it was just like, oh my gosh. And it just happened to be a year of a historic event because 3 women had never taken the top places of public speaking ever before in the history of the organization. There had never been first, second, and third place all female women winners. Oh my goodness. So it was just a phenomenal moment. And from there, people just want to talk to you. So once you get the trophy and you get off stage, first of all, there are about 2,000 people at the convention, and you go and you put your things away and you kind of try to soak it all in, and then you go take pictures. And I'm the type of person that's like, I'm here to enjoy everything. So I stood in that line for maybe an hour or 2 just taking pictures with everybody because everybody wants to be a part of that moment. Like if I didn't win, I would still have wanted to take pictures with the winner. It's just the energy and the vibe of the moment. And so I stood, myself and the other 2 winners, we all we stood in that line and we took pictures with everybody. And then that night, oh my goodness, there's this big banquet. And so definitely at the banquet, like I'm trying to eat. As soon as the food comes up to my lips, somebody's like, Ramona. So more pictures, more conversations. And that's when you start getting flooded with the invitations to come and speak at all of these different events all around the world, because Toastmasters International is an organization that is global. It is in, I think, over 150 countries at the moment, and growing. And that's just a rough estimate. So people come into the table to shake your hand or to give you a hug or say how inspiring your speech was. Then they invite you to their district conference, to their club meetings, to all these different events that they're having. And it's hard to say no because it's an overwhelming moment. So I just started giving people my email address. Here, take my email address. Just let me know when the event is. And if I'm not scheduled or if I'm not booked already, absolutely I'll come. I was the yes world champion. Some world champions are like, no, I'm going to be very selective. Or some world champions are like, man, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I got the trophy. That was my goal. I'm done. But I wanted to just bask in it all. Like, I wanted to get the full experience, as my husband would say. I wanted to get the full experience. I'm saying yes to every possible thing that I can. So yes, I won. It was shock. And then you get overwhelmed with invitations. And then the media coverage. The media coverage for me, it was one of my favorite parts because I know I'm a star, y'all. I know I'm a star and you're a star as well. But it was like, okay, yes. I'm the type of person who, back in the day, because I've always wanted to be, of course, a world-renowned, internationally known motivational speaker, always, since I was like 19. So I was the person who, when I lived in LA, I was practicing in Micah and Louie's living room. I was living with two other people, and when they were at work, I would be in the living room practicing speaking on Ellen. And I'll be in the living room practicing speaking on Oprah. And I'll never be on those shows now because they don't exist anymore. But I always knew that I wanted to be in the limelight. And y'all, I'm still not there yet. But that's why the consistency with the videos and the content is very important for me to get me to that level, that next level. But anywho, I would be already practicing the interviews as if I was already in these situations. So once the news started to come and the people wanted to interview me, it was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Like, I've been practicing for this my whole life. So I would get calls from newspapers and calls from different websites and things like that. Like, what's your story? We want to run your story. And so that was so phenomenal. I mean, I got articles written about me in some of the top media outlets like Forbes and Inc.com and Business Insider, and just, oh my goodness, it's so many. If you Google Ramona J. Smith, so many things will pop up, and I have a link tree. I probably should put my link tree down below. And I was just flooded. I mean, I was on NPR radio. I was on 97.9 The Box when the Toastmasters, when the Mad Hatter morning show was still running. I was able to be on Debbie Duncan's morning show here in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. I was able to get on the local news like Channel 5 and Channel 3, and man, my colleges that I attended, they wanted stories. And I mean, when I tell you the news coverage was just phenomenal, it was great. I had a really great time getting myself out here and letting people know my story and sharing those public speaking tips. So that was huge. And at the time when I won, I was teaching. I was a teacher in Aldine ISD here in Houston, Texas. So I was teaching 10th and 11th grade child development and human growth and development. So teacher, world champion, kind of two completely different worlds. And I knew it was real, y'all, because you know, after you leave Chicago and you know, from Chicago I went to my hometown and I celebrated with my hometown family and did some interviews and things there. But then you go back to Houston and it's like, all right, you still have to be in the classroom Monday morning at 7:30. So, you know, I told my students and I brought my trophy to my classroom and everything, and it was like, okay, cool. I knew it was real when maybe 2 days later, my students they rushed into the classroom and they said, Miss Smith. At the time I was Smith. Miss Smith. Well, pause. my brand is Ramona J. Smith, but y'all know I just got married, so I'm Tyndall. I don't want to offend my husband or my Tyndall family members or confuse the audience, right? So my brand is going to remain Ramona J. Smith, but legally my name is Ramona J. Tyndall. Anywho, so my students came in like, Miss Smith, they want you on the radio. They want you on the radio. I'm like, what? What do you mean they want me on the radio? They played your speech on the radio and they want you to come call in. I said, what? Man, when I got me some planning time, I called up to that radio station. I said, hey, it's Ramona J. Smith. They was like, we loved your speech. It was J Mac. Hey, we loved your speech. We want you to come on down. Or was it Matt Hatter? It was either J Mac or Matt Hatter. I talked to one of them and they was like, hey, we want you to come on down and get on the show and talk about your speech. Man, I was there the next morning. And then it continued because one day I had to get permission from my principal because the local news channel here in Houston, they wanted to actually come into my classroom and into the school, which was great publicity for the school, great publicity for me. But y'all, that's when I kind of knew, I'm like, okay, this is something. This is something, because when you win, if you have no world championship close friends, you don't know what to expect. There's no blueprint. There's no manual that says, here, this is what you do after you become the world champion of public speaking. It's kind of how you make it, and it kind of depends on where you want to steer the ship. It depends. Now, I did end up reaching out to previous world champions, Mark Brown, especially my big bro. Shout out to Mark Brown and Darren LaCroix. He was, oh man, Darren LaCroix has so much value for a lot of public speakers. Y'all check out both of them, Mark Brown and Darren LaCroix. And big ups to Aaron Beverly. Big ups to Aaron Beverly because he actually took my call. Like, sometimes you try to reach out to world champions and they're just too busy. They just don't have time, and they have a lot of people flooding them and a lot of things going on. But Aaron Beverly, he actually took the time to talk to me on the phone and kind of walk me through the process and what to expect and what his journey was. Because at that time he was I think he was a top 3 finalist in the world championships. But the next year, 2019, Aaron Beverly would go on to become the world champion of 2019. But yeah, big ups to Aaron Beverly, Mark Brown, Darren LaCroix, just all the people who kind of gave me some guidance and direction when I was starting on this journey. Because you don't get a step-by-step guide to winning the world championship. And even if you did, you still have to pave your own way. You still have to decide if you want to say yes or no. And that's going to lead me into those international invitations. And a lot of us are kind of skeptical. I'm not going to sit here in front. I'm going to be full of integrity and excellence. I thought a lot of those were a scam. When I'm getting invitations from all these states from the UAE, and they're like, we want you to come speak in here and here and here. And I'm like, I'm like, really? So you telling me your great grandma just died and she left you $50 million and you looking for an American? Them scams. Y'all, I'm sorry. But those scam emails that you be getting, like, and so I looked into it. I talked to some of the other world champions and they vouched for, like, yeah, I spoke here and I spoke there. It's legit. And so the first international world tour that I took, it started in Dubai, and I had never been to Dubai before, but everybody's always talking about Dubai this and Dubai that. And so I started in Dubai, and then I went to Oman and Qatar, and man, the list goes on. But I did that: Dubai, Oman, Qatar, and then I did India and Sri Lanka and Malaysia and Bahrain and Saudi Arabia and Brazil, and just all these different beautiful places that I never thought I would experience and go to. But I said yes. And so that was a part of my process, saying yes to the press, saying yes to the dress. I'm just playing. But saying yes to these invitations and kind of taking that risk. I traveled to all these places initially alone, and then when I got there, of course, I had a whole team of people to show me around and to help me out and take me around and things like that. But traveling by myself on a plane for hours and hours and hours and hours each way, but I just took a risk, and I do not regret it. And I'm so glad that I took those risks and met these beautiful people in all these different beautiful places. And I'm the type of woman, immerse me in the whole culture, y'all. I was in Oman at the Indian festival dancing the dandiya. Y'all, I'm in Sri Lanka eating my meals off of palm leaves. Like, you better wrap me in that Saudi. You know what I'm saying? You better put my bindi on my forehead. Like, don't treat me like an American. Treat me like your sister, right? Like, I want to be all a part of the culture. So that was another thing. But the biggest thing for me that I learned is that when you have these huge opportunities come your way, you have to have some type of goal in mind. I didn't really have an end goal in mind. It was just like, I want to be seen, I want to speak, I want to travel. I didn't really have an end goal in mind as far as, okay, now after this, then what? I didn't really have that in mind. I didn't drop my ebook until November. And it'll be in the description box below. But I didn't drop my email until that November. I had one in August. I had to create a website because I didn't really have a good website. So all these things I was kind of doing on the fly. Whereas I wish I would have had a little bit more structure. I mean, when I think about it, it's like, how could you? Because you don't know if you're going to win or not. But even making it to that world championship stage, I wish I had some better processes and systems in place so that when, outside organizations started reaching out to me, I could have really been able to scale my business the way I wanted to. Because not only were Toastmasters clubs reaching out to me and leadership reaching out to me, but now other people are getting wind of it because I'm doing so much media. I'm in all these articles and newspapers and hearing me on the radio and things like that. So other corporations are like, oh, wow, come on and speak at our company. Like, I wish I would have been able to have that business acumen then that I'm developing now, because it would have been like, okay, cool. Well, I know I got all these people about to come in, and so I can just funnel them through my public speaking program. I didn't have that back then. I didn't even start coaching until like 2019. Like, I didn't have these processes and systems in place, and I probably could have made a lot more money. I probably could have made a lot more money had I had those systems and processes in place. However, I'm glad that I was present. I'm glad that I wasn't solely focused on making money and solely focused on building a business, because I was able to just saturate myself in all these different cultures and just really vibe with the people and just really be there because I wanted to be. I wasn't there to sell. I wasn't there to persuade. I wasn't there to get more business. I wasn't in a business mindset. So I was relaxed. I was mellow. I was chill. And I actually had a great time. So I'm glad I got to experience that as a regular person. To where I wasn't so focused on just networking and business and things like that. I was really creating these new experiences for myself that I could share with you all. And I guess I can get into some of those stories later on, and some specific stories from specific countries, because there are so many. And I'm just grateful for traveling grace and just grateful for this life-changing experience, after becoming the world champion of public speaking. So in a nutshell, how my life changed was just being exposed, just having this huge platform and being able to connect with so many people and travel to these places that I never thought I would see in my lifetime, and being a great role model to my son, because now my son knows. And some of these places, I had never heard of Qatar and Oman and Bahrain. I had heard of Bahrain before because I had a friend who was in the military, but I never thought I would go. So now I can expose my son to all these different places, and he won't be afraid to do these things because I've already shown him that it can be done. And if I can do it, you can do that, and so much more. So thank you guys so much for joining me as I talked about what happened after I became the world champion. It's just like it started to get larger than life, and I just want to keep that same momentum. I want to keep you on the journey. I actually, hopefully, fingers crossed, have a trip to Abu Dhabi, and I will be vlogging the entire way, because I didn't do much of that when I was traveling previously. But stick around, watch my previous videos if you haven't already. Like I said, we starting from the bottom. I don't have the best equipment right now. All I have is the passion and the content, and that's what I'm going to give. I'm not going to make any excuses and say, well, I can't because I don't have the cool Sony or Canon, or I don't have this and that. No, We're going to start from the bottom. Y'all, we're going to work our way up. Stick around, hang out with me, be patient with me, be gentle with me. And if you want more public speaking tips and strategies, and just to learn more about who I am and about my journey and how we can connect with one another, make sure I see you in the next one. This channel is all about making public speaking simple. It is not that hard. It's not that difficult. If you breathe, calm down, relax, prepare, work with me. I'll coach you, I'll train you, I'll help you get ready for that next big event. We are here to simplify public speaking. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. See you next time.